What's up, modifiers? As you guys remember last time, we got the LED/projector headlamps on this 4th gen behind me. So to get straight down to the point, we're kind of sick of those old incandescent lamps on the back of the truck, and it's time to put something on there that kind of goes with the front lamps. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be putting some OEM 4th gen tail lights on this truck. I don't know if you've ever seen them, but they make two types. There's a type that's all red, that's kind of darker, that's LED, and then they have one that's got the clear chrome trim around it. With this truck being a chrome trim truck anyway, and like I mentioned last video, that's what I'm going to keep it. We've got the more flashier chrome bezeled ones. Okay guys, so regardless if you have a 4th gen anywhere from 2009 all the way up to 2018, if you have this style tail light, you have to have this one adapter piece, or else these lights will not work. So right here is our adapter piece. This is one of the only companies that makes the adapter for the incandescent 4th gen lamps to the LED ones. They also make 5th gen adapter cables or harnesses as well. So if you guys want to do 5th gen tail lights on your 4th gen, you can also do that. So like I said, this is the tail light we're going to be going with. And this one, just like our front headlights, is also an OEM headlight. It's got the Mopar logo right there, and you can see all that good jazz. So what we're going to do is get this light in there, but also when you get one of these lights, not only do you need that adapter right there, most of these lights that are being sold on the internet are missing this harness here. So this harness clips in right there, and it runs up to your LEDs, which are your brake and running lamps, and then you go down here, which is actually a normal incandescent bulb, which we're going to be changing out. And if you don't have this harness, then you know you're not in business. You have to have this harness to get it to work. Now this harness is extremely rare and extremely hard to kind of track down. If you go in a lot of the forums, they'll say if you don't have this harness, the light's basically trash. But there is one company that sells this harness that's located up in Canada, and I will plug that, or I will put their link in the description down below, along with the harness for the incandescent to the LED conversion. When you're looking for one of these taillights, make sure you already have this harness. I mean, it really helps, but if you don't have this harness, go ahead and plan on spending about another $150 just for this harness alone. Okay, so like I was saying, this reverse light is going to be an incandescent bulb no matter what type of housing you get. That's just the way they did it from the factory. But there's no need to fear. All you have to do is get an LED bulb, which we've already done. We decided to go with the Oxydo, and these are the same lights we have in our interior as well, as if you can remember that video. So that light right here, I mean, that's a lot of LEDs. You got them kind of in here in this magnified part, and then you've got like a bunch of them around here. So this should really light up our reverse lights. The only tool you need to do this job is going to be a T20 Torx, and we've got that on our 1/4" ratchet. That's literally the only tool you'll need for this job. So this is really simple. This is even easier than the headlights. First up, we're going to open the tailgate, obviously, and just like a lot of pickup trucks, you're going to have your T20 Torx right here and here, and all we're going to do is go for those and start taking those off. Alright guys, so once you got them off, the tail light's still going to be in there, and it's still going to be attached from the outer side, which is actually just clips. So instead of pulling the tail light out this way, you're going to pull it out towards the back, and it should come right out. Alright guys, and just like that, your tail light's going to come out. And all you're going to do now is you're going to go for the red safety on this first harness, which is for your actual tail lamps. Pull that back. Just like that, comes right out. And then same thing down here, you're going to have your reverse light. It might be easier when you're doing the reverse light just to take the bulb out. Do it that way so you have a little bit more room to get to that clamp. There, just like that. Okay, so now that you got the wires out, you're going to have 2 wires on these incandescent trucks. And now when you take it out, I've already done this, but this harness right here is actually going to run and come out at this top hole up here. And with the LEDs, you want both of them coming out at this bottom one. Now with that out and these are out exposed, if you want to go ahead and clean up in here, we've already kind of done that, but you're going to take your conversion harness now, and you're just going to plug in the smaller wires So you're going to take it, just kind of plug it in. It really doesn't matter which way it goes. And now this wire, or this harness connector right here, just slides in. There's no lock for it. It doesn't really clip in, which I'm kind of not really too happy about. But they send you tie wraps to kind of tie wrap it together. I don't think we're probably going to do that because I don't see any reason why it should be coming out. I mean, it's pretty snug in there. And then the one down here is for your reverse lights, and this one's going to go in right here, which is good because there's already a connector, or there's a clip for it to connect in, and all you're going to do is just put that one in. But this bottom one down here, you're going to actually hear and feel click in. So this is what it should look like with your conversion harness on. You're going to kind of stuff everything down into that bottom hole, and what you're going to do now is we're ready for our tail light. So you're going to take the harness that's kind of one with the tail light that I mentioned earlier that you want to make sure you have if you're buying these lights used, or else you'll have to spend another $150, and you're just going to connect it with that. So you'll have a lock on this one, so you want to make sure you lock it in place. So we're just going to slide it in, clicks down, push our lock over, and just like that, guys, our tail lights are clicked in. Just feed everything through that bottom hole, like I said, because the top one won't work just because of the interference. So there's those clips I was telling you about. You want to make sure that you slide the tail light into those clips first before you even think about screwing it in, and then after that you can go for those T20 Torx again. Alright guys, so just like that, we're kind of all snapped in there and tightened down. The tail light in the truck's a little dirty, but don't mind that. The results are still going to be all the same, immaculate. So now with those in, we went ahead and did the passenger side as well, kind of off camera, because like I said, it's the same exact process. And really all we got to do now is light these things up when it gets a little bit darker. Now I bet at this point in the video you guys are wondering, what in the heck am I doing? Why am I taking out the immaculate and beautiful LED projector headlights that I just put in this thing? Well, we may have, just may have, forgotten to do something. It's nothing you would think you were supposed to do, but apparently these headlights have a bit of a fogging up kind of condensation problem. Not quite as bad as the ones we caught on fire and blew up though, luckily. It's just because these top halves are projectors and they're still incandescent bulbs like we talked about going to LEDs in the past videos, and then this bottom part is a total LED. This bottom part stays really cool, and then this top part gets kind of warm, right, because it's a normal incandescent bulb. So with that, it causes, you know, a change in air temp when you got, you know, cold air and hot air, and it causes condensation down here. Now supposedly there's a service bulletin by Chrysler that if you take the vent caps in the back of these, you know, the 3 vent caps, and if you pull the caps off of them a little bit and space them out, that it should allow for enough airflow that it shouldn't cause this anymore. We've had this problem already. That's why, you know, I know about doing this now. And for all those that seen the last headlight videos, if you see in this video, this is something you should definitely do before you do that. Okay, so we got the headlight off, and now we've got it on our bench. So what the service bulletin exactly calls for to cure this is that these caps right here, and there's 3 of them, you know, one here, one there, and then one down here, is what they want you to do is take it off, which should come right off just like this. Okay, so under that, this is the cap that's supposed to protect from bugs and water, I guess. And then you're gonna have this rubber grommet here, and like I said, guys, under this rubber grommet is just, you know, a straight hole. And then you've got this kind of a, it's kind of a mesh. It looks like you can't really get air through it, but supposedly you can. That's just, I guess, like a net to keep bugs out of there. But what they call for is, on all 3 of these vents, you want to take the cap off, make sure this is well seated, and then go back on with this brown cap. So when you're going back on with it, right there, as you can see the black, see kind of like that little lip there, you can push it down past that, but you want to stop right at that. And supposedly when you do that, it'll give it enough airflow so you don't have that fogging up problem anymore. So that side's done. We did that side off camera, so that should solve our condensation problem. Like I said, it wasn't like the condensation problem that we had with that old headlight. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's raining, it can be dry for a week, and when you turn them on at night, that's the only time it does it, and it's very slight. Whereas, you know, that headlight over there was pure out leaking, and it was horrible. You saw that. We also saw how we fixed it too, so that was pretty fun. But with the sun setting, it's starting to get pretty dark, so it'll be a good time here in just a minute to show you guys the tail lights. Okay guys, so that's gonna wrap it up on the lighting, I think, with this truck. I mean, we've got the LEDs in the back, even with the reverse lights, and these reverse lights are so bright. I'm actually using them to film right now. I mean, you can see it's pitch black out here, and I'm just using the light off these reverse lights for the camera, and you can see it's pretty bright. So with that said, we got those lights in the back. We've got the LEDs in the interior, which make this truck look newer by itself, and we've got those awesome projectors up front with the LEDs in that. Now, the only other thing I could think of doing lighting-wise this truck is maybe doing some LEDs in the projectors themselves where the incandescent bulbs are, and then also the fog lights. But other than that, guys, it's pretty much, I'd say, finished as far as lighting goes. Now, even though that we're finished with the lights on this truck, we are nowhere near being done as far as cosmetics go, and there's still a bunch of stuff I want to do mechanically to this thing. So even though it's the end of this video, guys, make sure you subscribe, and hey, comment some of your suggestions and what you guys do in the comments below, and stick around, and I'll see you guys next time.